Guys, life is not balanced. I was teaching in a village.
They need to actually fill the role, and it's expensive. Maybe we'll just be nice and wait like 2 or 3 days before we actually reject, so that you think that we actually read the CV.
Good day, gentle ladies and men. Welcome to the Mide Olayiwola channel. This is Expat Experiences. Okay, so as you already know, I bring brilliant, amazing people on this show. And today I have another corporate African girl, I must say, in the studio with me. This person is not just amazing in character, she's also very brilliant. She has over 4 years experience in the HR field. I mean, I wanted to bring you someone to talk to you about HR. And we know that, as employees, we always want to, hold the necks of the people or working in HR. And I hope that we'll be able to hold our neck today. And I'm very excited for us to hear about our experiences in Germany, also experiences in Nigeria, and also give us tips to thrive as HR professional in Germany. Without talking too much, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me my amazing guest, Tejumoluwa. Welcome, TJ. Thank you so much for coming. Guys, I'm going to be calling her Teju, TJ, everything together. She's
just choose one.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm always of the opinion that I cannot introduce people better than they will introduce themselves.
Okay.
I would say that you please tell us your name, tell us what you do, your background, career-wise, just something like this to start.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Tejumoluwa. You can call me Teju. You can call me TJ, like she said. And so I work as a people operations generalist, popularly known as HR. Like she rightly said as well. We are like new school HR, so we like to go with people operations and not
Gen Z HR.
HR exactly. HR has this bad PR, and we are trying to just move away from there because we love our employees, and whether you like it or not, the interest of the employees is at the core of what we do. But yeah, I've been working in Germany for almost 4 years now, but I also have some experiences in Nigeria. My background, like academically, is in sociology. So I studied sociology for my bachelor's. And then when I came to Germany as well, I studied sociology as well for my master's. And yeah, I just kind of transitioned into HR. I think it just kind of found me. I don't know. It was just all I've done. I mean, I had some radio experiences in Nigeria, but before I left, I was also working in HR, and then I came here and just started as a working student. So yeah.
But did you always know that you were going to work in HR, or did you even know maybe as a child or
absolutely not. Definitely not. I was still having this conversation with my friend yesterday, and I don't think that I am one of those people that was like, oh, I want to work in Big Four or something. No, if there was anything career wise that I actually talked about, it was maybe being on TV or radio. That I was just always just floating around.
When you're on TV now.
Yay! But yeah, I never really pushed for it. But also coming to Germany is everything afterwards. So yeah, but HR just kind of found me honestly in Nigeria, and then I came here and I started enjoying it.
Okay, so walk us through, how did you start in Nigeria? So you were working in the HR field in Nigeria, and then you also came to, so how did you get into that space first in Nigeria and also in Germany? Okay,
so in Nigeria I was working in school actually as a radio presenter, but also I was working as a staff of the radio station as well. So that was when I started, working a little bit in HR. And then my first proper intro was also when I was doing my youth service. So I was one of those people that everyone is always jealous of, that got very good company.
Oh my God,
Seven Up bottling company. So it was.
Wait, in Oyo State or in
No,
Lagos
in
State?
Ilorin. Yeah, so it was very like everyone was always like, oh, yeah.
Yes.
Because they were also paying us, and I mean, maybe in Lagos, like it was normal to get paid, but in Ilorin, no. So yeah, that was mainly like where I really started.
So
working
you were a youth corps member in HR.
Yes, exactly.
Really?
So I know.
Wow.
Really,
So-
I know. Even like fellow corps members in the company were even like, girl.
Guys, life is not balanced. I was teaching in a village. But how did you apply to the role? Did you know that these were the things that you were going to do? And how did that change your experience or build your love for this field?
Yeah, so I didn't know like the things that I was going to do. I feel like it kind of also varies per company, but also because I was a core member as well. I was doing a lot of stuff like with my fellow core members.
okay.
So I was like the one in charge of them, and then I got introduced also to like managing leave, like employee time off, documentation, and just like all the small organizational stuff, like not really operational like I'm doing here. So that's like what I started with in this company. And
did you like it?
Yes, I loved it a lot then, because first of all it was chilled. Like like my other core members, for instance, they were working in the plants, like where they're doing like the bottling stuff. Some people were doing quality analyst and stuff. I just had my office, I had my space, so that made me enjoy it a bit. But also I really loved doing it, like just taking care of the employees. Like I really enjoy doing that.
So this was what led you to study sociology. And how did you then, when you got to Germany, get into this HR field as well?
Okay, so I got into Germany doing my master's as well. And
sorry to cut you short. I wanted to also ask the question, like, how did you come in through study?
Yes, actually, so I was one of the people that came in through studies as well. So I came to do my master's in Germany, and that's how I got into Germany. Okay, and then I started working full time.
So after you got to Germany, how did you get into the HR field?
Okay. So during my master's, I was trying to apply for jobs. I wasn't actually sure if I wanted to continue in HR because I thought, and I feel like this is something that also holds us back, or maybe now people are breaking away from it. But like when I first got here, it was like, oh, German, and people really extremely, actually, people really held themselves back from going for opportunities because they thought there were no opportunities available to them because they couldn't speak the language. So I also thought, I had that thought initially, but the kind of person that I am, like, I will go for, like, I just push through, I go for stuff. And I just was like, okay, I already have experience in HR, so let me just learn HR here as well. I knew it was going to be a change because one thing with HR is also you need to know labor laws, so it's like different, but maybe we'll come there later. So I knew it was going to be a change, but I just cleaned up my CV nicely, started sending applications. And with Germany, maybe some of your guests have also said, you can't give up. So you need to keep applying. Rejection cannot,
should not stop you.
It cannot stop you. Don't get discouraged. Just rejection, no problem. Next
Apply
one.
again.
Keep applying, keep applying. And like I will always tell someone, like you just need that one company that will just like you just find out that you're just the best candidate. You've gotten a lot of rejection. So I just kept applying, like I said, and also with the backing of God, of course, I just got an interview with this company, and since then, should I continue? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the interview, first stage, she really liked me, and then she passed me on to the next stage as well, and it was amazing. So it was a working student role, let me just clarify.
HR
working student, so people operations working student. So and then I got in, I aced the interview, and then I got the offer. It was just all like a dream, honestly, because this was 2021, I think, and it's like, it's not there's not a lot of people
Yes,
in this
yes,
field.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
how did this happen?
Yes,
So
I need to also say that, like, personally, I like your field. I love HR. As a matter of fact, if I hadn't come to Germany, probably I would be in that field. I started my CIPM in Nigeria. Yes. So, but the thing is, in Germany, I know that a lot of people working in HR, because you have to know German and you need to be able to, speak to or write letters to like some organizations and to, you're representing your company, you're representing people working with you. And because of that, I like the fact that you mentioned that you didn't let the fact that you didn't know enough German to stop you from applying for these roles. But then the question would be, after you got this working student position, and comparing it with the NYSC experience, were they the same? Were you doing something similar? Were you doing anything related to recruiting, or like what were the things that you would say that you did in your working student role?
So it was like absolutely different. Absolutely, I can tell you that it was not the same. So I started off with a 6-month contract. It was just supposed to be like a maternity leave replacement. So then I was doing like recruiting, they started training. And again, let me just chip this in, like just go for these opportunities. They would tell you, I mean, of course your experience is also needed, but like how each company operates is also different, and then they will let you know what you need to do. You just need to show that you can learn. So anyway, like I started with recruiting, and then just like small stuff. My manager was really amazing, and the team in general, I have to say, were very amazing. And I started learning, and like I said earlier, so my manager was like, this girl, see the way you're just talking to hiring managers. You're just always like, hello, we have this candidate, what's up, when are you free, and all of that. So she really saw that. She was like, oh wow, this girl,
prospect.
There's something there. So that was just where it all started, and I can say, like the journey in the I'm still there, by the way. And it's been
almost 4 years in the company.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, interesting. So this also means that you would be one of the people who would recommend that people get working student roles.
Oh, wow, absolutely. Yes, for sure. I think that it's also one of the easiest ways to get into the German labor market. So yes, please go for the opportunities as a working student.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. Now to the important question. So you talked about doing recruiting, and I just wanted to just basically thinking about it, the especially the job market in Germany has been been a lot in the past couple of 2 years, or a year now. And it feels like even several companies are letting people go, even though the next month you see them also still hiring other people. It's like, I cannot really say. So what do you think is like the problem? Or is it that we're not doing enough? Is that why you guys are not hiring us? Or is there something that we need to do more? Or is it just a general thing,
So I think that there are like a lot of things involved in the question that you just said. So one is the layoff part, one is the current market, like hiring freeze and all of that. And then the second part is also, or the third part is also like, getting employed in general. Or so let me just say, like with layoff and hiring freeze, it's just unfortunate, like a lot of companies are going through it right now. I mean, of course, I can't speak so much on that. It's just like, it's above my pay grade. But it's just the sad reality of, what has happened over the past few years with COVID and the Russian war. And I think it's not even only the companies, like even if you look at the economy in general, it's just very sad. But let's come to getting,
hired.
Getting hired, exactly. I would say that, so let's just say like there's no hiring freeze, just everything is going well. This is Germany. Like I said, first of all, sorry if you get rejected without getting interviewed and all of that. It's just, I don't think that there's I don't know. I don't think that there's a secret to it per se. Apart from just first of all, like make sure that your CV is good. That's like the first thing, because then once you're able to get interviewed, like it's up to you. Like girl, okay, this is not only girls channel. I mean, I'm all for the girl child and like for women, but like girl, guys, everyone, just once you get the interview, please like
give it your best.
Give it your best. Like prepare. Watch YouTube videos. I watched YouTube videos when I wanted to interview for like watch YouTube videos, learn. There's now AI, ChatGPT, you know, make use of these tools. This is the way the world is going, and we just need to also just adapt to it. So prepare, learn, like research. You can also reach out. I know a lot of people are like, oh, who is working in this company? I have some questions and all that. Also do that. It also gives you like an edge over. But at the end of the day, I always say this, or at least then before this whole market freeze and all of that, I always say like the company needs you. Like we want to, like it's how do I put this? Like if I'm recruiting, I mean I also don't do recruiting anymore, but maybe we can talk about that later. Like but like if I'm recruiting, like it's my goal, it's my job to actually close that position. So like I want you more than you actually want me. The way I always like the company needs you. They need to actually fill the role, and it's expensive. So like backfilling or hiring is actually not even like the easiest things for companies as well, because they also find it very expensive as well. So companies need you, as long as just I don't know, just put your best foot forward. Give it your best.
But my question would be, do you guys read our CVs, or do you have an AI tool that actually reads the entire CVs? And if there is this, if it's AI reading our CVs, what are the things you think we can put into our CVs to make this AI just be humane as much as possible?
So some companies actually go through the CVs, while some, so it really depends, while some just makes use of AI. Maybe most companies, maybe not most, but a number of companies actually also make use of AI. But it's also some things like, after you submit your CV or after you upload your CV and then they're asking all these questions.
Yes.
Those questions are actually very important because because then if you say, I don't know, no to something that they ask, like, do you have 5 years of experience? Something is just like, okay. Then it's just already moved to like to be rejected column, and maybe we'll just be nice and wait like 2 or 3 days before we actually reject, so that you think that we actually read the CV. This is inside scoop. So you can think we actually read the CV, but we didn't read it. So like those questions anyway.
Okay, guys, feel them.
So those questions are very important, but it's also like if you don't have it, then you actually don't have it. So maybe it's also it's actually also not a bad thing. Exactly. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to lie, but you can package yourself very well.
Okay, you got that. Okay, then I would like to know what your everyday looks like. You talked about people management. You people are not called HR again, this and this, blah, blah, blah. Tell us exactly what your day looks like. What would you do typically on an average day for you?
Ooh, okay, good question. Okay, so one of the beauties of HR people operations is that it's actually very dynamic and change. Like I can set out my day, like these are the things that I want to do, and then something just happens. Like there's an employee relations topic and all that. So it's very interesting. It never gets boring. If you are like, what's the word now? Like if you want to work in like a high stress something, there's something we always call it. Okay. I can't remember the word. Like that pressure. If you like it, then HR is really there for you. But every day, let me say typical day. So let me think of today now, for instance. So today, I started working. So we also do like some projects, like a lot of projects for as well. Employees. Yeah, for employees, like to improve employee experiences as well. So today, what did I? Oh yeah, I remember. So today I started with our HRIS. because I'm like managing like our German and US employees. So our HRIS, it's like the applications where we use to manage employees. So maybe you definitely also have it. So like if you want to apply for annual leave, if just where you have your profile. Exactly. So that's what I started with. I like downloaded a report, and because I need to ensure that it's up to date and it's accurate. So that's what I did in the morning. I have a blocker for that every week that I need to check that everything is fine, no one's visa is expired, all the data are correct. And then after that, I'm working on a project to automatize something like a training, because we have training days, so something like that. So I was working with the IT team. And then another project, I told you, like we're working on a compensation, like we have a new compensation tool that we are working on as well, like benchmarking and stuff. I also had a meeting with the other company, like the company that will be providing that service for us. And
so just meetings and meetings and
actually meetings and working, honestly. Like today is even like one of the less meeting days for me because it's sometimes a lot of meetings, but it's very interesting. It's dynamic.
In summary, what you do, you would say, is just taking care of your employees.
Absolutely, we love the employees. Like, don't see HR. It's the publicity HR has. Honestly, like we have bad PR, but we actually like we are also. I would say we are also employees. You know, like I know they like to see us as a company, but we are also employees. Like.
Yeah, but sometimes it looks like people are always. It's like you're in between the employers and the employer, and you always take the side of the employer over the employees. This is how it feels.
Well,
like
that's not the kind of people operations manager that I am, and also like my team, my company, like we are.
You guys are giving HR.
So the thing is, we need to also be. I think that's what other employees don't get. We also need to be very compliant, like legally as well, and then also business needs is also very important. But it's not like we just take side of the employer.
Okay, so
don't mind.
Now, quick one to people who are just entering Germany, or people who are looking to cross even into your field. What do you think, or what are the starter packs, like I will call it? What are the things you think they need to know? The skills they need to have, tools maybe to learn, or what are the things that you would tell them to know or to do, tips you would give them to be able to thrive in this field of yours, or to even cross into your field?
Good question. So I would say, first of all, I mean, we've already made it clear that it's not impossible to get a job without speaking German. However, it is a huge advantage. Like, it's a big plus. It's like one thing you don't need to stress about. I don't know if it makes sense. It's like, I speak German. So it would be nice to actually learn, at least start learning German, like prepare yourself, take classes and all of that. But also with Excel, so work a lot with Excel. It's also very important. If you want to do payroll, you need to. I'm still learning too, so don't worry. We all got it together. What else? Just like also like your mind, like you need to be very proactive. You need to pay attention to details.
That's true.
It's like
you cannot miss things.
No, like you can't. So excellence and just. But if you want to learn something, maybe just take like the old G Suite, like Word and Excel and all of that. What else?
Okay. So you mentioned before that you mentioned payroll, you mentioned recruiting. What are the different branches or like the different subsections of people management?
Okay.
And why did you stop doing recruiting? You mentioned that you no longer do recruiting.
So there's like she said, recruiting, payroll, so it depends on how actually big the company is. So some companies are extremely specialized, like they even have onboarding specialists. Some people have like people that deal with like visa for their expats. So they are like different. They are also like HR business partners that really work with the business to be sure that everything is fine, and also advise the management on how not to only make decisions with based on business reasons, but also employees. So
Mm.
there are different types or different forms. But for me, I stopped doing recruiting because I was just not I was not really enjoying it. So let me just say, and by the time I was transitioning from working students to full time, also like my manager just spoke with me, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not really enjoying recruiting. And then we just, and also like what the business needed at that point where I could come in was also more in like a generalist position or operations. So, and that's what I really enjoyed.
And that means you do everything.
Everything, literally.
Except recruiting.
Except recruiting.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I don't do recruiting. I also don't do employee engagements and
What does that
experience. So like employee experience, also like trying to. So I do core HR. So you know when you think about like admin, like payroll, like onboarding, just like the core HR. But there's also like the next level. So like engagement, surveys, experience, like trying to improve employee experience and all of that. I mean, one part of my role as core HR also leads into that, but that's not my focus.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I love it. It's just not my turn. I love operations now. So.
Okay. So you mentioned that you worked in Nigeria, and now you're working in Germany. So I would like to know: is there a difference, between corporate Nigeria and corporate Germany? What are the different things or similarities that you would think that we share, or that the differences or the cultural shock that you experienced after you started, working in Germany compared to, when you worked in Nigeria?
So I think in Germany is of course more structured in terms of what you're doing, and then you're doing it. You can do the extra stuff that you can do in Nigeria. I mean, I was also a core member then, so you can imagine like even as HR that I am, they'll send me to go and buy food. So yeah, there was that part, but I think also like here is more accommodating. So it's also culture wise. Like Nigeria, we know our culture. Like obviously, like I can't say like, oh, this is better because it's culture. So for instance, like something like smoking. Even here there's like smoking break. You can go out and go and smoke, but in Nigeria it's not even like not in the corporate. In fact, you will be judged for that. So I think some of the culture parts, like the smoking, the way people just respect, like it's more welcoming. You literally, like in Germany, maybe even the most culture shock for me is like in corporate is that you can wear anything. Like you can like even bum shorts during summer, no problem. Anything, anyone is welcome. I remember one of our new joiners was asking, "Oh, what's the dress code?" I was like, "No, there's no dress code at all. Just come as you are."
Okay, so to the very interesting question that I know that a lot of people want to know.
Okay.
If, for example, I want to drop my career now and I want to move to HR, so what's like the pay range? So we should know if, we are dropping our career and moving all the way to yours.
Before you drop your career, do your research very well. But I mean, from entry to like mid, I would say around 45 to 65. So it's good. It also depends on your negotiating skills, but also heavily on experience, of course. But there's also like more money as you progress in the career, of course.
That's
so
true.
like a senior lead and all of that.
Yeah, that's I think relatively normal for like almost every field.
Exactly.
That makes
I was
sense.
gonna
That
say
makes
that
sense.
as well.
Then that means you would also recommend that when we want to get roles, we should negotiate.
Oh yes, please negotiate. Negotiate your salaries, negotiate the bonuses, benefits and all of that. Yeah. Please.
Really? That's something new. Please jot things down.
Please do.
Okay, just to finalize everything, do you have a tip or like an advice that you would give anybody trying to get into corporate Germany? So maybe a student, a trainee at the moment. What kind of tip or like what kind of advice would you give anybody?
So trying to get into corporate Germany, just don't give up. continue. Don't mind the rejections and all of that. Just keep pushing. There's just one company out there that will just like you, and you'll be the favorite. But more for like, if you're in corporate Germany already, my one advice would be, please, like, sell yourself.
Everyone
don't sell yourself short. Like, don't keep quiet in meetings. Don't, honestly, even if you, I mean, of course, contribute reasonably, but also just try and say something. Put yourself out there. Don't be shy. I know that for Africans, like, we are not, like, in class, we are not the first person to speak. Like, it's a
cultural thing.
It's a cultural thing, but just try and push yourself out of that box and out of that comfort zone, and really be present. Let people see you. Let your team, let your managers, let them know that you're there. It's very important. Like, I promise you, this is from like at the back end of like performance reviews and all this promotion stuff. Like, I know these things, and yeah, it's very important that you put yourself out there.
Thank you so much, T. So, like I've always told you guys, it's not just enough to work. It is also much more important to make your work visible. And I'm glad that it's coming from, the HR of the HRs. And I hope that, I pray that even as you try to get for a student or a trainee, as you try to get into corporate Germany, as you send the CVs, and as you make your CV nicer, that you're going to land a job interview in your most preferred company. And if you're already in corporate Germany, I hope that every single day you remember that it is important that you make your work visible to everybody, and especially the most important people in your company. So
we are rooting for you, right?
We are rooting for you, yes. Thank you so much, TJ, for coming. I really do appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
So, guys, remember that this show was brought to you by Mide Olayiwola and shot by AY Pharma Studios. If you're a returning subscriber, you know that I've got massive love for you. Thank you so much for subscribing, supporting me on this show. Thank you so much. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, share this video with your friends and your loved ones. I'm sure that you're going to learn something amazing and something brilliant from this episode. Because right here, we're sharing the undiluted experience of expats in Germany. We're changing the narrative right from this channel. Thank you so much. Until we see you again. Ciao.